particularly a part about Ryan Reynolds, but let's go through. I can sort of summarize and tell you some insight as to what this all means.
Blake Lively was not at the Academy Awards on Sunday, but...
And this case just continues to not be black and white.
There it is. That's the pop apologist.
LLC, Justin Baldoni, Jamie Heath, Steve Sarowitz, It Ends With Us movie, LLC.
Blake Lively and Ryan Reynolds have long been seen as Hollywood's golden couple, but their carefully curated image is now under fire. Shocking new revelations about a lawsuit involving Justin Baldoni have thrown them into controversy, exposing hidden secrets and raising concerns about their legal tactics. As the situation escalates, it's no longer just Blake's team facing scrutiny. Ryan Reynolds is now being pulled into the turmoil as well. Could this be the biggest misstep of their careers?
But Blake was going to Sony with her complaints. Initially, though, she says she was going to them with complaints, but it turns out those complaints might have just been based on COVID protocol, which, again, would be very different than the story we were led to believe. While Sony was going after Justin Baldoni, sending him some mean messages, being like, dude, what the hell, man? Like, you know, what are you doing over there? Not realizing that they were part of a sort of plan by Blake Lively to take the film over from them. So it's very dramatic, and it shares Sony actually offering Justin Baldoni advice on how to handle all of her concerns. So you really get to see them being put in the middle, and in the end, they're going to try to please everybody. On one end, they're distributing Baldoni's films, so they got to please him, and on the other, they got to make sure Blake Lively plays ball, promotes a trailer, and does all of that. So
Blake Lively's lawsuit against Justin Baldoni was already complicated, but things have taken a shocking turn. New reports suggest that Blake's legal strategy may have backfired, and now Ryan Reynolds is feeling the consequences. For years, Ryan has managed to steer clear of controversy, but with his name now tied to the lawsuit, his reputation is suddenly on the line.
Particularly a part about Ryan Reynolds, but let's go through. I can sort of summarize and tell you some insight as to what this all means. So the film has now already made $242 million worldwide. It could reach up to $300 million, and that's a huge amount for a summer film like this, especially one like this. It appealed, though, to female audiences, and it's now taken off. Hugely profitable, as the movie only cost $25 million to produce, and it's expected to net at least $25 to $30 million in profits for both Sony and directors Wayfair Studios, which is Justin Baldoni's, the director-actor's production company, which financed it with TSG Entertainment. The deal-making points puts that figure at double. Those margins don't include proceeds for cinema or box office bonuses for Blake and Baldoni. At the end of the day, it's a lot of money that everyone's going to now reap from this reward. Now, the sequel is an obvious, like, well, duh, they have a book Colleen Hoover has written. It starts with us in the final cut of the film. Sources say that came as news to Baldoni, who thought the scene had been ad-libbed by Blake. So I guess that's because a lot of people are like, well, how could he have not known that the scene was written? He's the director, and I shared that too. But apparently she had just had her lines rewritten, so she was funny. And if you've seen that rooftop scene, it makes more sense, given what she's saying, that he must have buttoned up her dialogue so he could respond better and sort of ad-lib with him, and he didn't realize that was given to her by Ryan Reynolds, apparently. The other issue is that the WGA is now potentially involved. It could be a guild violation.
The fallout from this scandal isn't just hitting Blake and Ryan. It's now affecting the entire cast of It Ends With Us. On the Oscars red carpet, one of Blake's co-stars was put on the spot about the lawsuit, and their reaction spoke volumes. Hollywood thrives on drama, but when even your own castmates seem uneasy discussing it, that's a serious red flag.
Actress Blake Lively was not at the Academy Awards on Sunday, but the up-and-coming film editor was definitely a topic of conversation everywhere in Los Angeles the past week. Her husband, Ryan Reynolds, has never been nominated for an Oscar either, but he is a member of the Academy. He, too, skipped the big ceremony. And Justin Baldoni was not there either, obviously. But this fella did hit up the party circuit. Some of you might know Brandon Sklenner from 1923, the TV show, or from It Ends With Us. He has previously come out in support of Blake Lively. Are you Team Blake or Team Justin? Sklenner responded saying, I just want people to remember why we made the movie in the first place and what it stands for, and just keeping the focus on that. I have someone very close to me who's going through what Lily, the character that the plantation princess played, is going through for a long time, and I've been on the front lines helping her navigate that space, so that movie meant a lot to me, and it means a lot to her. It was one of the reasons that me doing that movie gave her the strength to change her life. It's unfortunate that things get taken away from what the ethos of that thing is, and it gets convoluted. So, that was a few weeks ago on Sunday night at the Vanity Fair Oscar party.
Ryan Reynolds has long been one of Hollywood's most bankable stars, but that may be changing fast. Insiders claim his connection to Blake's lawsuit is taking a serious toll on his career, with some even suggesting this could be the moment. His Hollywood reign starts to unravel. For years, he's been seen as untouchable, but now it seems the internet is beginning to turn against him.
Blake and Ryan get the rights so they can shoot a sequel to the movie. They get full control, no problem. And the New York Times basically teamed up with Blake Lively and Ryan Reynolds to ruin Justin's reputation. Now, I know actors suing each other for their reputation may seem stupid, and it kind of is, but you gotta understand, the celebrities of this caliber especially, their reputation really is everything. They got products outside of this. If you don't like them, then you don't buy their product outside of this. They lose out on millions. They also lose out on acting roles. Their careers are basically ruined. So they're suing each other for millions. Blake suing Justin, Justin suing Blake and Ryan. So people said, okay, this is a he said, she said thing. We don't know who to believe. But like I told you earlier, this story is deeper than it seems. Justin comes out and says, how about this? How about I prove I'm right? And they're all lying. And here's where things start to get wickeder.
As more evidence comes to light, it appears Blake's team is scrambling to contain the fallout. Reports suggest that journalists and media outlets have been pressured to steer clear of certain details, especially those involving claims against Justin Baldoni. This raises a crucial question. If Blake has nothing to hide, why is her team so concerned about controlling the narrative?